Yeah. Front page.
And we're live.
Oh yes,
Yay.
ladies and gentlemen, boys
Hey,
and girls,
Arthur.
it is in fact Wednesday. We're getting ready to do that thing we do. It's going to be salacious. That's what it's going to be. Nothing like a good salacious
That's an
Linux
adjective
podcast.
you can use, yes.
That's exactly what I
Hello
would
and
expect a
love,
salacious
Arthur.
person to say, Pedro.
And hello and love to Foxy.
Oh man, how's everybody doing?
Do. Oh, hi, brother Jelly Bean.
PS5.
What was it? No, man, you got to roll back all the way to PS2 before you just get through. It's like, wow, that was on TV? Ha.
Hello, Steve husband love. You made it even after he had a big meeting this morning, early this morning.
Was that a salacious meeting, Steve?
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, I have to go into work and I'm still spending an hour in a meeting that's completely useless.
Careful,
I know the
they'll
feels.
invent more advanced meetings. How's everybody doing, man? It is definitely the middle of the week, so we got a reasonable-sized one for you this one.
It still says Fallout 3 roleplay on Linux. I
Probably
didn't notice that.
probably need to change that, don't we?
Let's see, LWDW, Linux News, and Technology Malay.
I'm going to do it in the creator's dashboard.
Science and technology, there.
Yeah, boo, webcams and hot glue.
Did you
Yeah, I
beat me
mean,
to
he
it,
was
Pedro?
really doing a meeting showing off
I just
product.
did it.
Let me see, I got to
Oh,
refresh.
no, Arthur and Twitch, of course. You know. That's funny.
No, that just says which. I agree with Arthur.
Yeah.
And,
funny.
according to the CCs, Arthur's name is now Arthur.
Yes.
There, now it's correct.
And to answer your question, Arthur, it's Hobgoblin, the Ruby variant.
That is called the cheapest, most palatable alcohol currently available at Tesco.
Yep, that's 5% at least. Because anything below 5% doesn't really taste like anything.
Which you can. Witch. Yes, November, the witching season. Turkeys on broomsticks. So very frightening. Also delicious, probably. I don't know. It's a less common stuffing broomstick.
Looks like I'm going to be spending Christmas right here.
Hey, that's
Yeah. His reasons.
Lockdown and everything.
Yeah.
2 weeks. I don't have to find people to fill in.
Yeah, until the lockdown lifts, I'm not going anywhere.
I get you some arm floaties. We can just see what happens.
Yeah, we're not even going to San Diego either to be with our extended family. But we're staying
Yeah,
right
my
here.
grandma called me earlier. It's like, yeah, can't do the big Christmas dinners like we used to because now everyone's got to be locked away. Yeah. It's for your own sake, Grandma.
Well, you can get like one of those little joy buzzer things that unroll and you know you get a popper and go,
Yeah.
over like, I don't know, man, like a cheese sandwich.
I'm going to make French girls for Christmas this time around. I made real
So
fancy burgers
salacious.
last time.
Yeah, so this year I'll spend Christmas with my brother and sister-in-law and nephews and just stay local.
Yes. The
And
Frenchiest
Thanksgiving, too.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I'd like to report. Allergic to Microsoft. I gotta put that down.
Oh,
I should have got my gloves on.
Ben.
That's terrifying, man. Pretty decent. Xbox One S controller. We've been playing around with that. This week, I've probably played with it for like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, that's good.
It
I'm glad your
works as a controller.
birthday money went to something good.
Yeah,
That's
I was wholly against the idea, but Jill was like, "No, buy a Microsoft product. I love Microsoft."
Here, I'll fund half of it. Go.
I know, right? She's like, "Stupid, I have hazmat suit, Strider.
Not surprising. Not
No,
surprising.
not
in the
really.
least.
I mean, as I said that, I'm like, probably assume I do anyway. So I mean,
I'm guessing you have two just hanging in the garage for reasons.
they're not yellow though; they're white. Not full Breaking Bad. I don't want to get off the wrong idea. I just play that out as like somebody reports something suspicious at my house, and like, an officer walks into my garage and they like see that, and they come in and they come upstairs, and I'm like mixing vape juice with like the beakers and stuff. That's not gonna play out.
What are you doing? I'm making vape juice.
Yeah.
Hands on the floor.
Hi, Chibs. How you doing, Chibsy?
Hey man, did all the
Gypsy.
virtual penguin thing stuff go good? They were having a, what is it?
Ohio Linux Fest.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, it went great. I watched
saw
some
a
of it
couple of the
live,
streams.
and then yeah, good. And then now one of the days has been released in full. So I was watching Mad Dog this morning. But there's that, and the Linux App Summit starts tomorrow, and that's free as well.
Nice.
Yeah, Chibsy, I did notice that there weren't, of course, as many talks as usual.
It's I know some of the Debian. I watched a lot of the Debian virtual conference, and
Put a bit more enthusiasm behind it, please.
Yeah, the Debian ones can be a bit dry. Yes.
it's a lot of people not comfortable being in front of a camera.
Yeah, talking. Yeah, that's always a thing.
I missed that one. Why is it my favorite?
Birds of I don't know. I was busy coming up with meanings for BOF, but Chip's like, let's cut that off at the knees.
Yeah,
Right, the 8-hour stream that Nixie hosted. Right.
Yep, we call them
Look.
boffs, Ben. At Scale, we call them boffs.
That's okay. You guys can have speech impediments.
Birds of a feather flock together.
There's also the not safe for work variant that I will not be reciting at this moment.
All right, we'll get going at the end of this clock. So we got 4 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay, I will be right back then.
Yes.
That'll teach it. Yeah, get it again. Elbow drop.
Need to get a bit of a run up from the other side of the room and just clothesline it.
Righty tighty. Yeah, it's the other one.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh. There we
The
go.
other way. falling and I can't get up.
Haven't had that happen in a long time.
I would just like to take this moment to thank Arthuran for getting this microphone arm to the studio. Just move that thing out of the way when I get up.
Yep. Yeah, no, a 14-year Amazon Spain microphone arm that I brought with me from Portugal.
Right, so that. I'm assuming it's. I'm trying to get. I just don't trust PoE kids.
45 what? What's not to trust? I wish laptops had PoE. It would cut down on the number of chargers, like the second drawer on this Alex chest
Right.
is just laptop power supplies, one of each, and it's full.
The ubiquity stuff. I just threw in a MikroTik access point, the Cap AC, which you should get a merit badge every time you get something MikroTik set up.
I'm sure they're keeping track. Yeah, someone figured it out, put their name on the list.
What? Oh, yeah.
Strider, that's because my apartment is about the size of your living room. That's why my laptops are all in a shelf.
See, my house is undersized to the point where I don't have a room large enough for a moose. Well, I do, just it wouldn't be ethical. I saw that.
I don't have an office. I have literally this corner of the living room. That's it.
That's what Strider posts, like, a
From
row
this
of his
wall to that
laptops.
shelf.
You know, his laptops on a shelf. I'm like, oh, that's a closet. Which is awesome, man. I used to have my gaming set up in a big walk-in closet I had in an old townhouse. Like, just unnecessarily big. If the closet in here was wider, this is the dumbest closet in the world because it's like from here back deep, but the entire length of the room, you can walk down the closet. You need to store, like, sailing equipment? I got you, fam.
Yeah. Surfboards, stuff like that.
Walk. Yeah, you can. It's like a step in, walk the other way to the left closet. A freezer.
Our Lord and Savior Xenu.
Muted.
Sorry, Lord and Creator Xenu. He didn't save anyone.
See, when I'm angling microphones, I make sure I'm sitting down. You'll get the other part in a minute. Just give time.
It's a repurposed horse.
Yeah, you don't realize how much heat monitors put off until you surround yourself with a bunch of them. You're like, geez, that's a bit much.
Even these LED backlit monitors nowadays, if I put my hand here, it's significantly warmer around here than it is back here.
Yeah, it's just like I have this insulating like heat barrier here. I have a fan on the desk that just doesn't blow on me. It just blows air across the desk, man.
And the 2560 by 1440 TN panel it gets much warmer than the 3840 by 2160 IPS one because it refreshes at 144 hertz.
The reigning champion is the 43-inch monitor. That one has got its own heat.
Yeah, just thermal mass.
Yeah. The 28 over here out of shot. That's a TN panel. I don't really notice that. I don't know.
If you're sitting at the right angle, you don't notice it.
These are rarely ever on. See, this is the other part of the equation I was telling you about. The hottest thing in this room is this little blue box back here. That's my preamp. You don't really want to touch that. That's a Class A preamplifier. That's how you know it's working correctly. Also, if somebody's lying to you, like, oh, this is a Class A preamp, cut it on, let it run for 30 minutes. If you can comfortably hold the top of it, it's not. Dual boxing WoW days? Steve, not everyone dreams of a meat alcove.
Like playing two characters at once, or what were you using the other box for?
Mining.
Just having one stand around in the market with the shop, two characters at once. Yeah.
Even I knew that. Come on. Thank you, Alexa. Alexa tells you, man, it's like, hey, man, you haven't been playing music through me in a minute. I'm going to go out of speaker mode. Peace. I have a can of unicorn meat.
Yeah, no, there was a bit of a false start there. I saw Jill sitting down, and then I look away and look back. Jill standing back up.
Yeah, I need my Steve husband's a little help with that. I can't unscrew it because it's too tight. I was just like, but it moved down a bit. Okay.
Do you have pliers?
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it now. This will be fine for now.
Usually just that little bit of leverage from like 10 centimeters away is enough to...
Yeah.
You stared
I'll do
at
it
menacingly.
another time. Don't have to do it now. Yes, arthur and this mic arm is... This mic is far more high-end than this mic arm.
Heavier. The word you're looking for is
really
heavier.
heavy, yes. And I do need a new
It's okay, it won't get offended.
Yes.
It's a chunky boy.
It's chunky. It's heavy. And it works. It's just it's after time the mic pulls the arm
It should
down.
say, I'm going to say about halfway through the show, it just goes me. I had to tighten these nuts right here. Because, yeah, no. Even just
same reason.
80-20-20, after a while it started...
Yeah.
No. There, done.
Well, I mean, you have a spider mount. You can constantly see. You see that?
Yeah, no, now it stays where I leave it.
I can put it like, what? I got a little, that little zone.
There you go.
But I have a silly amount of weight
Yes.
on this thing. All right, everyone, let's get underway. Let's get that moved there. I still need to come. Why am I gated so hard? How about, yeah. I thought I'd fixed it. Remember, kids, adjust your gates. Right, let's go. We are locked and loaded.
With
You're
Linux, you
recording.
don't need gates or windows.
I would think with a lot of people recording podcasts and stuff, they don't need gates, but they do. But we do your gating on this end. That's why we can't hear him type.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay. 3, 2. And welcome back to Linux Weekly, daily Wednesdays, where we can sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about all the things going on in the world of open source, and just Linux in general. That confused, young-looking gentleman is Pedro Mateus. He makes funny faces.
Hello.
That's it. That's all he does. He is strictly here to make funny faces throughout this episode. And that is Jill Bryant, and we will all be watching her microphone with eagle eyes to see if it randomly falls.
There's a bit of a pool going to see when it drops.
Yeah. It's something everyone who does podcasting will eventually experience, especially when you're live streaming. How's everybody doing? We got a chunky show for you this week. Playing a little bit of catch up. If you follow me on the social medias or if you're in our Discord, you'd know I picked up a new MikroTik device, which is always all right. It's always an adventure. It's MikroTik. You learn these things, and I picked up one of the Cap AC access points, which you know you're in for trouble when you're like, why is this thing quad core? That's ridiculous for an access point. And as I said on the Saturday show, just to summarize, MikroTik is impervious to like intuition. You're not going to defeat it. I spent over an hour going, I got this. I'll figure this out. Regular home networking equipment, I can do it. No problem. You know, I have that level. This is next level stuff. And especially it's like with the MikroTik multiplier on it. Some people know what I'm talking about. They have their own way of doing things. But once I got this certificate and the config and everything set up in the router, and I pushed it out to the access point to where it could configure itself, after I figured out how to get the access point to boot in Cap AC mode, that was another one. It's working. I still don't, we were talking in the pre-show, I don't trust power over Ethernet, but it appears to not be on fire. And so that's really all I'm looking for, man.
Again,
Very
25
good.
bucks.
Just see some light. Yeah, that's what I've been up to, man. Nothing terribly. I directed traffic yesterday. Thank you, Athens denizens, for not running me over. That was interesting for the red light four-way being down, but not the first time I've done that. What's new with you, Jill?
Aw. Well, I've had fun last week at listening to the Ohio Linux Fest. Some of the really good talks, and just finished one by Mad Dog this morning, and that was really, really cool. And I think the three of us all got to enjoy some of that convention, so that was awesome. And also the Linux App Summit starts tomorrow, so I have signed up. It's free also, so you can go and enjoy some of those talks. Those will be really,
How are
really
they going to do the
interesting.
talks? Because I really wanted to watch the one that was eventually posted from, who was it? Calabra did it?
Oh, yeah.
They had their talks like 2 weeks ago, and I went to watch one live. Like, create your Calabra account. One, oh, okay. Now
Yeah.
register for this, then submit to
That's
this, then
right.
do this
Yeah.
and this and this. I'm like, I just wanted to watch. No,
Do you have a YouTube channel?
right?
Yeah.
Can I go there and watch?
Maybe okay. Honestly, Calabra, I was thinking, well, you know, maybe because somebody's like, we don't want to use YouTube. They're evil. I'm like, I get it. Then they put it on their YouTube channel. I'm like, really? Come on. How about you, P Money? What's new?
Not much. It's this week has I guess it's the holiday season that there's actually a lot more people having issues and a lot more people coming back from summer vacation and actually starting to do some proper work before, Christmas rolls around and that stops again. Can't come fast enough as far as I'm concerned. But still no news on the PieBoy DMG because I did email Experimental Pie. It's like, okay, I emailed the store. They said that they talked to you guys. What's up? It's delayed. Like, the screens are delayed. Some of the daughter boards have some very custom components that there's been a bit of a delay on that. So we're sending stuff out as quickly as we can. Not quickly enough.
Maybe you'll get it in time for Festivus. Probably not. Unlike,
there we go.
Well, I did see that, then, just on a bit of a sidejack. I saw that B&H is, or it might have been Adorama. No, it was B&H that was sending out emails to people who've like pre-ordered the new Ryzen CPUs. And like, yeah, those aren't coming in until like February.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The Ryzen CPUs, NVIDIA GPUs, and supposedly AMD GPUs as they come out this month.
Yes.
Well, if we're going to be celebrating Festivus, we might as well celebrate another birthday. And that's for Kate.
Yay!
Yes, it's 20 years old. One more, and it can actually drink in the U.S. It's Kate. It's been around for 20 years. Well, not 20 years yet. Apparently, the official 20-year mark is on December 14th. Because that's when the first email that the creator, Christoph Coleman, that's the first email that he sent out. It's like, look, I'm working on an MDI variant for K-Write, and I want to make this its own thing. Anyone want to help me? And, well, no one replied to him. So he originally had emailed the K-Write, the original K-Write developer. But apparently that email address was no longer in use, so then he emailed the KD Devel mailing list, and eventually people started joining, and he actually got things, and he went through several name variants. One of them was Kant, K-A-N-T, which has the other pronunciation, which is why they decided to change it. So Kate is what it became, and it is, in my opinion, the best text editor to have just for regular everyday use. And it's the first thing, or one of the first things I install in KDE systems, because it does make heavy use of the KDE frameworks. So it does integrate with just about everything else KDE if you set it up all right. And it's only 4 letters. If I need to edit something, it's just Kate, name of the file, instead of having to type 6 letters for K-Write. Yeah, no. 4 letters.
Pedro, one of the things I'm more curious about, Chigs brings up, who are these responsible people who have emails from 20 years ago?
Christoph is one of them, apparently.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. So, like Pedro, I've been using Kate for years, and it's been one of my go-to editors because back in the early days, early 2000s, I was using KDE a lot, and I wrote some web pages on it. So it's been one of my go-to editors too, and I'm so happy it's still around and still getting good development. Awesome.
Yes.
I was using Netscape. What was it? What was the HTML
Communicator?
Thing? Was it the communicator for the HTML editor?
Yeah.
In Netscape?
Yeah. I remember using that too.
I've always liked Kate simply because it had, even way back when, you could open a terminal. I'm like, oh, that's handy. And always been a bit fancy for my taste. I'm a G-edit person these days. I'm like, I get it done.
Yeah,
as they say.
You get it.
It's either Kate or Genie for me. But yeah, if I don't want to have the whole kitchen sink installed, it's usually Genie.
And if I'm just editing something, it's going to be Nano.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, quick text edits, Nano.
we need to send ticket to Nano and say, so when are you getting support for GTK3? Like, GIMP.
Yeah, so this is really, really awesome. So GIMP 2.99.2 and stable build is now ready for testing. And it's the first towards the long-anticipated GIMP 3 release due sometime in 2021. So this was actually a huge release. And the big news here is that it's based on GTK 3 rather than the GTK 2 UI toolkit, which the current stable build of GIMP uses. And so because of GTK 3, it has native support for Wayland, and it now supports high DPI displays natively, which follows your system-wide high DPI scale settings. Way to go, GIMP. And there is now, one of my favorite things, there is multi-layer selection support now, as well as the ability to interact with and apply changes on the multi-layer selection. So that's a big deal. We've been waiting for that functionality for a long time. And there's just so much.
Yeah, I was kind of neat. Pedro, you noticed that you can stick things into the GIMP.
Yeah, you could actually hot plug stuff, which is a big one because I do decided to share my life with an artist. So she's already been captured by Photoshop land, but
so
I tried.
So glad it's not Saturday.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of her of Nori's big complaints was that if she plugged in her drawing tablet while GIMP was already running, it just didn't see it. It wouldn't work. And worse, if she was working and she happened to knock out the USB connection while it was already working, GIMP would get a little bit crashy. Just a little bit, as in it almost immediately crashed. So that was a big no-go. They finally, apparently that was the fault of the GTK2 implementation. They did fix some of the crashiness if you accidentally unplugged it, but even if you plugged it back in, you weren't getting any input. So you had to save, close GIMP, make sure that it was working, and then start GIMP again. So yeah, hot plugging. 2020, finally.
Good. Good to see Wayland support. By the time Wayland's ready, 10 years from now, everything's going to be waiting on it. And that makes me very happy to see that. New GIMP extensions, Jill. What, the GEX format?
Yeah, the .gex format, which makes it just makes it so much easier for developers and artists and just GIMP users in general to install brushes and splash screens and patterns and dynamics and plugins. So they've totally revamped the whole extension toolkit. So really cool.
Right on. Good news all around. Well, are we showing our age when we make the dude you're getting? Do the kids even understand, dude? You're getting Adele.
You're getting Adele.
Did that even?
They don't.
Is that on any meme radar for anyone under the age of like 35? Possibly not.
Yeah.
In that case, get off
so.
my lawn and get your Dell. Dell's adding webcam and microphone kill switches to the latest kernel. Well, there's a patch that's been submitted. And hey, welcome to this brave new world where we're all at home. We're doing these things. This is going to be kernel level. It's going to be a kill switch for audio and video. It's going to have support for hotkeys, which is kind of brilliant. Now, there's no timeline for this since it's under development, but this will only be available for new Dells shipping in 2021, to which I didn't have time to run and grab a roll of tape, is really all I can say to this. This article is from Wired Gorilla. They do bring up a good point. Is it the Lenovo's? Who's shipping? It's not Lenovo, with the hardware kill switch on their laptops for the camera. The Librem?
Dell has that on their current lineup of Latitude
Librem
business
notebooks
laptops.
Currently have that enabled, but in newer Dell, that's a good idea. I think they're going to target Control F4 to just disable
Librem
the camera.
and Pine. The Pine book has firmware switches on the keyboard to shut down the camera, microphone, and Bluetooth Wi-Fi. So
and Dell
whether
was
or not the
first...
system is up and running.
Yeah, it's really nice to have that hardware switch. And Dell was one of the first to get the fingerprint reader working on Linux. So that was really
I
awesome
still
too.
need
and a
to
bunch
use
of,
GNOME to use that.
yeah. No.
I don't know, man.
No maplet.
If that's your thing, you don't want to accidentally have your camera and audio. Even if you're not paranoid, you just don't want that functionality on. So that's good. You can do what I do in here, like get another camera and like none of this can cut on without 5 minutes of intervention. So
The most secure difficulty.
pretty much, right? It's like you have to be on premise. You have physical access that you can cut on. So you're gonna have to be delightfully sneaky if you're gonna cut my camera on without me noticing. Also, possibly a ghost. However, you need to roll, baby. What's WinApps and why should I care about it?
WinApps is, in my opinion, a little bit excessive, but hey, if you gotta get your Microsoft Office stuff done, and it needs to be Microsoft Office, well, you can set up a KVM running Windows, install Microsoft Office on it, and then use WinApps to basically set up a one-time single-window RDP connection to that VM running Windows. That just shows you the Office app, and it integrates everything like MIME types and everything else into GNOME. Right now, it's only working for Nautilus. They do say that KDE might be a thing in the future, but right now it's for Nautilus. And yeah, it sets up MIME types. It lets you have the application as though it were native, despite working over an RDP connection. And if you've worked over RDP connections, you know that that native claim is a bit of a stretch, but it's workable. So yeah, no, that's quite a few steps. But if you need the native Office applications, or Adobe applications, then yes, I suppose
I can run PowerShell.
Could.
How delightful!
There's already PowerShell on Linux.
Yeah.
There's a snap for it.
I think this is actually really huge because it makes it so much easier to use like a Microsoft Outlook, the standalone app, which a lot of, companies, a lot of enterprise companies are still using. They're not all using Office 365 yet. So all the apps that you can use with this, it's amazing, and it's not hard to install. So this is, it's huge.
Yes, Noctilus, it would be faster with an emulation layer, but
This is all about-
RDP to a VM is easier.
Here's one of the things. Wasn't Canonical working on something like a seamless integration layer a while back? I remember
I
seeing
think this was that, or something close to this,
think
because
it
I remember us
mentioned
talking
something
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original post I saw on this, the creator of that was like, I just get tired of waiting on it. So
Right, okay.
this is my solution.
Oh, this,
for it.
yeah, Barnes.
So
Yeah.
good on that. Good news, everyone. My favorite thing I like to see on Twitter or just anywhere in social media is Linux is rubbish for multimedia production. To which you have a defensible argument in audio. You do, much as it irritates me to admit that. On video, you don't really. Because there's been Davinci Resolve. We're talking pro level stuff here. We're not talking like, hey, man, you want to do your cat video. That's fine, man. There's great tools. But Davinci Resolve 17 is out. It's a beta. And it's available for Linux day one, as with all things. A bunch of new stuff, updates for the color grading. There's been Fusion updates. They've completely reworked, allegedly, their audio engine. So if you're playing with Fairlight, which is their audio section inside of Davinci Resolve, that supposedly works better, allegedly. I don't know. I try to avoid that at all cost. But best part, it's completely free to play around with. And the studio version's still like $300, which is incredibly well priced when you start talking about an NLE compared to the competition. I watched the live stream. There's a bunch of stuff to play around with if you're looking for it. Now, the main reason, there's the cut page. Sometimes I accidentally click on that button. That's all I know about the cut page. You got a bunch of stuff that you can play around with. I enjoy it. I use it. The main reason I use Davinci Resolve here is because it's the difference between like 12 minutes to render out weekly, daily, Wednesdays, or 1.5 to 2 hours, because it's taking advantage, you've heard me harp on it, it's leveraging compute, be it OpenCL or CUDA. Right. And it's a night and day difference. And that's just the rendering, the speed and functionality and stuff I can get away with on the timeline. Whole other game as well. Still like a lot of love for KDN Live, OpenShot, and Blender, because someone's like, Blender has a video editor. And I'm like, you're the
Yes,
person that uses it. Well, it's even better. It's like, do you use it? Oh, no, but it has one.
So does Emacs.
Yeah.
Let's
This
not.
is true.
Yeah.
They had one announcement I wanted to give everyone a mention of. They have a speed editor.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
It's a new piece of hardware. You're not doing a good job selling it to me, Davinci, because I'm looking on your page and I'm not seeing it. It's a little tiny. Come on, there's your color. There it is. Hey, I found it. This little guy for $295. And like that shocked me, because Black Magic stuff. I'm like, that's wickedly underpriced, but it's free if you buy a copy of Davinci Resolve Studio. So for $295, they're just going to toss that in. Might be something to keep in mind if you're looking for like some desktop stuff. I'm cheap. I use a trackball. And
Okay, so the actual license is $295, and
you just get that for free.
you just get that for free. Okay, okay.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody wants to like buy that for me, I'll give you a copy of Davinci Resolve. I don't think I'm necessarily going to buy. I want that keyboard, but there is no world where I'm spending $1,000 on that keyboard, man. Also,
It doesn't even have mechanical switches.
what made me laugh out loud, Pedro? What made me laugh out loud? I was watching the live stream, and over here, you can't really see it. I have a control surface to control the audio stuff, right? And they're like, hey, we have our own control surface now for Fairlight, and it's got motorized faders. I'm like, that's cute. Got those. It's got LCD screens. Yep, got that. And I'm looking at it, and my entire time I'm thinking, you're probably going to try to charge $1,000 for that too, knowing you. Boy, was I wrong.
$995.
$3,000. My audible laughter from me walking around my house when I heard the price announced. It's like, guys, that you have did yourself one.
Oh, God.
Well, back in the day, I paid $500 for an editing dial. So
Oh yeah, you can
That's
spend. They got
Yeah.
a dial. How about some keycaps? $500 for new keycaps for
Yeah, I
your
saw
existing
that.
$30,000 layout. Which, in comparison, but one good thing with the introduction of 17 is there's a software development kit for encoders. So developers will have the option to make plugins to allow different types of media to be encoded and decoded by Davinci Resolve. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. Somebody would be like, hey man, I'm just going to make this encoder decoder work with FFmpeg and do that. Now you can use all your MP4s and stuff like that in the free version. That is a technical possibility. But real quick, if you want to get installed, as is tradition with any major version update of Davinci Resolve, linuxgamecast.com, I made a guide on how to get that critter set up on your Debians and your Ubuntus. This also work with Pop, Mint, stuff like that, with the optional, hey, this is how you install the NVIDIA proprietary drivers, make the deb package, and install it after a reboot if you do the drivers. So that'll get you up and running with a quickness. I look forward to the unrelated YouTube questions and comments on the video.
Why can't I load my MP4s?
My favorite one is, how come it doesn't work on my AMD laptop? I'm like,
It should at least launch.
Did you happen to see the post I made in our Discord, I think yesterday, from OBS, where I was helping a guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never assume.
Never assume. Be patient with me, because when I troubleshoot your issues, I will insult your intelligence for good reason. Case in point, that post.
It's not condescending if you haven't actually done everything.
Yeah. It was effective, like, hey, install Debian Multimedia. That's what I said. I said, you need to install the Deb Multimedia repo. Then he's like, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm like, okay, not my problem. But here, let me see. Did you add contrib to it? Because you got to do that in Debian. Add contrib and non-free. Non-free is not supported on Debian multimedia repo, but he's like, what? Like the Deb multimedia repo that I told you to just install. He's like, oh, that's a repo?
I just looked online for the package and I saw that it was available. Okay.
Again, don't get angry if I accidentally insult. Well, I'm purposely insult your intelligence. But we got his problem solved, and he was able to OBS without issue. Now, Mavis Beacon gonna sue somebody, Pedro. I believe.
No, not quite.
Quite possibly, but this one is, it's ML Type. It is a typing trainer targeted at programmers. Basically, it's surprisingly more... It's surprisingly more than I would have originally thought. It's like, okay, so it's just a command line typing trainer that gives you a little bit of text highlighting and tells you like your words per minute and everything else. No. See, main features, it's like text generation for the thing that you need to type out. Using neural networks to generate text, one can use pre-trained networks, see below, or train new ones from scratch. I'm sorry. What? So, I'm not a programmer. I had my programming classes in university. I've done some programming on the side, but I don't like it. It's not my thing. So clearly not the intended audience for this one, but neural network typing trainer.
Pedro, it's pre-trained on Rust. The kids will love it.
It's pre-trained on a bunch of different languages too. That's insane.
I don't know, man.
It's very good, but insane.
What I don't need typing training anymore. What I need is Google Docs level autocorrect for my virtual terminals, because Google, you have crippled my ability to spell, type, and grammar good. Yeah. So, again, it's got a bunch of pre-trained models. I like that. It should help in those rare situations. Those ever so rare situations where you're unable to like copy and paste from Stack Overflow, where you have to like look and type. If all you have is your mobile and you're on a terminal, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to key this in.
Unless you have KDE Connect, then you can share the clipboards between the phone and
a terminal. In a terminal, Pedro, you have KDE Connect for terminal. The headless box.
If you had to boot into run
Pedro,
level 3, you're
Pedro,
already.
I'm sorry, I've already typed it out. And what's your solution?
But if you're just going to a TTY, yes, it still sees the clipboard. So yeah.
Well, never mind. Different argument. If you want to get it installed, I believe it is. Okay, of course, Docker.
Yeah, or pip.
Well, hey man, I'm sorry, Machete don't pip.
Look, if my
like
choices are Docker, Snaps, or pip, I'll take pip any day of the week.
I will reluctantly pip something, and Pip's gotten better. Pip's gotten better at removing stuff.
Pip's got real good at just getting rid of a lot of the crap. So yeah, no, Pip's good.
Something people tend to have issues with, and I harp on them because I just it doesn't bug me. It bugs me that people complain about something that they're obviously, it's like, quit hitting yourself. No, man, my knee hurts. Is running out of system resources and memory and blaming the browser. Blaming Chrome, blaming Firefox. Like, how many tabs you got open? Poof, smoke bomb, they disappear. I'm like, we don't need to bring that into this conversation, man. We need to hear me complain. Well, just maybe this Chrome extension, which is open source, might be able to help you out, because it is, in fact, a Chrome extension for suspending all tabs to free up memory, man. This is going to need it. It's called the Great Suspender, not to be confused with the, moderate suspender. Or the shun
with
suspender.
suspenders.
Now, you have the option to whitelist specific URL domains. Anything you want to suspend, configurable behavior for browsing. It's got online or offline battery power mode, power key selection for, messing around with the config dialogues, customizing the actions, all that. It detects tabs that are playing audio. It'll stop them from being suspended. And yeah, NPM. Yay. The hits keep on coming. I'll tell you. You know what? This is available in the Chrome App Store. So keep that in mind. My solution to this is close some delete expletive tabs and use your bookmarks.
Yeah.
The bookmark bar. It's actually really useful.
Yeah, I use the bookmark bar all the time. And it's actually sad that we need a tool like this. But I'm happy there is one, because there are so many people who have, 20, 40 more tabs open. I don't do that many. I don't like having that many tabs open.
I think what it boils down to, Jill, is this. Most people unknowingly run Chrome OS. Their computer what does your computer do? It launches the browser.
Yeah.
It launches Chrome.
Yeah.
That's
just their system navigation up at the top. Okay. This one's all yours, though.
Yeah, so just 6 months after the release of LXQT 0.15, we now have LXQT 0.16, and it has lots of improvements and bug fixes, including 3 new themes: ClearLooks, Cavantum, and Leech, and Pulse Audio volume control bug fixes, improvements to library FM Qt and PC Man FM Qt file managers, and just lots of power management improvements. And this version also, the LX Image Qt now supports resizing images, as well as supporting more image types, which is really great. There's actually a lot of changes in this release, and I'm so happy to see all this wonderful progress. I love LXQT. It's, a nice lightweight desktop you can use as an alternative to XFCE or KDE. So
it definitely seems like a great idea. LXQT, I'd show it a lot more love in a world where XFCE didn't exist. However, it does. Outside of curiosity, I've loaded LXQT up over the years. I've even tried it on these boxes back here when I was figuring out just how tight I could get things, and I have nothing against it. I'm glad that it's being updated. Pedro, do you even know what it is?
I do. It came around as an effort to try and move away from LXDE. That was the lightweight desktop environment that actually was a full desktop environment rather than just a window manager. And it's okay, we need something more modern, something that isn't LXDE, basically. And LXQT came around. And my biggest gripe with LXQT from the get-go is how much stuff you just couldn't do. It's entire bits of configuration that LXDE had that were not present. It's the KDE and GNOME principle of new releases. It's we release a new version. Yeah, that all that level of functionality that you were used to, haha, screw you. Not anymore.
Yay.
To my point, they even bring up the default applications in LXQT config. It now actually lets you select the default web browser, file manager, and email client instead of just giving you the MIME types, all of the MIME types, and you having to set an application per MIME type.
Yeah, that was annoying.
2020.
Yeah.
Enough of your typing mimes. Nonsense. Hey, if you'd like to support our typing mimes, you can do that by becoming a patron, kicking us some coin. You find some value in what we do. You appreciate it. Hey, man, keep on doing this. This is the way we finance our nonsense. Patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. Come get some cool rewards up to and including access to our Discord, an extra bonus show that we do each and every week. And I don't know. What else, Pedro? Do you have anything special for the people this week?
Let's see. I was just reminding Mir in chat to refresh the page because he pointed out that we forgot to change the Twitch title at the beginning, which, yes, we did. We absolutely did. But that's been changed twice, I think. So
you could will help. Pedro's, you did a good job. You did a good first stab at updating the Twitch title. I refreshed.
That was as quickly as I could. Just LWDW Linux News. Done. Go.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, sirs and madams, and everyone else supporting us at patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. Get your name in the credits. Stick around for those. We have shirts and stuff like that. If you want to put LGC all over your typing mimes, there it is.
Yes.
Store.linuxgamecast.com. People buy them. I got stickers back there. You can cover up naughty words with slightly less naughty ones. And yeah.
You can get LWW shirts.
We have those.
And
Yeah, look at that. We
yes,
got
we do.
Frank's. Frank's back here. Chill out. And you see Frank. Frank's always an international man of business. But that's enough. Shameless shilling and self-promotion. Let's get into Slice Pie.
Ooh, celebrate Pi Day.
It's not March 14th, but yeah.
So I'm really, really excited about this. This is Risk OS 5.28 is now available, and it's so nice to seeing the updates to this OS. And I, for one, am just so happy to be able to geek out with Risk OS and run the vintage ARM-based Acorn software on my Raspberry Pi. And they also support the Beagle boards and Panda boards now. So it's really, really cool. And one of the things I was...
x86.
Yes. Well, in emulation.
Yes.
What about my new iBook?
No. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Risk OS. And I don't have an Acorn machine yet. I do plan to get one at some time for my vintage computer collection. But it's still just a really fast, zippy OS. And there have actually been updates and improvements to Bang Paint. Bang Paint. I had to be careful saying that. So Bang Paint, which when it came out was actually way ahead of its time, and they've done a lot of improvements, like added alpha channel support and more sprite support. So it was a really good paint program way back in the day, and it's nice to see that being updated as well.
That's fantastic, man. That's available. You can go ahead and play with it. You too can experience, with love and joy, the bad old days of computing.
Oh, no. It's
Although
wonderful.
I do have an issue. I do have an issue with this particular article.
Are you trying to imply that you're risk adverse?
No, quite the opposite. I do very much want all of the architectures to succeed and the operating systems to go along with them. My issue is with that picture that they used in the article.
You're going to make me go back. Where?
Look,
It's food. No.
yeah, we're talking about Risk OS. What?
That
I
is a
guess
risk
it's-
to your health, you monster.
They're talking about our community-led bounty. So I guess
I'm
they're
getting type 2
referring to the
diabetes just
bounty.
looking at it.
Well, the slice of M.Pi is not going to help things, Pedro.
No, but I guess we do need to address it at least. If you have one of the old Argon 1 cases, the ones before the M.2 enabled one came out, that didn't have the bottom tray
Wait
that
a minute.
had
Are you
the
trying to
teeny
sell
tiny
me
little
a
PCB.
Sega CD?
Yep.
Okay.
You can. You absolutely can. If you bought the original version, now you can, instead of having to buy the new version just to get the extra bottom tray, you can pay an extra $20. And you get that bottom tray that bolts onto your existing Argon 1. And you can have your M.2's NVMe SATAs, and it goes for the exact, it uses the exact same USB pass-through wart outside the case, which there's got to be something else, guys.
It's
Come
a
on.
connected
Yeah,
doodah,
that's
man.
that. Yeah, a little janky, huh?
Yeah. It's just a USB pass-through.
It's the thing. I was very excited about it when I saw that. I'm like, oh, anything M.2, especially like add-on for the Pi, right up into the point where it's, oh, USB 3. That's cute. Pfft, threw in the fire.
Yeah.
Very, I guess that's it. doing it good though. I mean, $20.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good price.
You know, if you want it like nice and contained too, even USB 3 speed. Hey, you want to boot off that? You don't want like a spinning drive, and you don't want an SSD with SATA ports. You're nice and neat, clipped in there. Doom, and you know you can just avert your gaze from the horrifying mangled 2 USB prong thing that's going to be plugged into the back that you're not going to see anyway. But Adriel will still have nightmares about it.
Aw.
It's technically plugged into the front because you want to have access to the I/O.
Not if I close my eyes.
Oh, the back of your eyelids. My bad. Sorry, I
Nothing-
misunderstood.
Nothing a blindfold can fix. If you'd like to tell us about your preferred method of fixing blindfolds to your head, I don't know. What I'm doing with that.
Willful self-ignorance.
Way ahead of you.
But yeah, no, the best way to actually get in touch with us is you go to linuxgamecast.com. There's a contact button with a contact form hidden under it. It's like, how did you do that?
I don't know.
But yes, that's the best way to get in touch. Make sure LWDW is the show that you're sending your feedback to. Otherwise, we might mistake it as a little bit of hate mail for the foul-mouthed Saturday show, What We Do. And yeah, that's the best way. You can also leave YouTube comments. Patreon comments, of course, take priority.
Order
obviously.
of like chances of them getting read. 100% on Patreon, 100%, like 99.99% through our contact forum. And
YouTube's going to be a
Here's
bit
the thing with
YouTube. Hit and miss.
toss-up.
you got to keep in mind, people are leaving comments on things for 10 years worth of videos. It might get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my favorite thing is when somebody does write into the show, when they write into the show, you can always tell because even if they don't regularly watch it during the day, they just show up. You're like,
Right there he is. We have an M Fox dog who did actually submit a bit of feedback because, well, according to what he said, thank you for covering Sci-Fi's Unmatched board. It's the Mini ITX one we talked about. Just a few points. The board has outputs that most Mini ITX boards don't have. GPIO, JTAG debugging, points to monitor power usage for each aspect. Great for working out the power Hunry bits. All aspects will be free and open. Keep LibreBoot happy. One more thing. You do not need to develop a toolchain. Sorry, my bad. Everything is already in existence. The big 5 Linuxes all have RISC-V or RISC-V, however you want to say it, builds, and all of them can run on this board, like Intel or AMD. Code written for one chip will work on any other. Cheers. That's great. The only thing that I raised last week was the price, specifically the $665 price tag. That's much cheaper than any other RISC-V board before it, but no, that's still, for me, that's too expensive. I'm sure for Foxy and other people who very much like this architecture and want to see where it's going to go in the future.
Do you know how much they're going to charge in Australia for that?
It's probably like $1,200 or $1,300 at least.
Make up a number. It's a brilliant piece of kit. I think we'll agree on that. And
Yeah, definitely.
$600 for what this is targeted at is reasonable. It's not a tinker board. It's not an enthusiast and hobbyist board.
Clearly.
No.
Yeah, development board.
It's something if you're getting ready to make some products on. You're going to get
Exactly.
You're going to get a pared down version of this and whatever product they ship with it. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's been it for this week's Weekly Daily Wednesday. We got to roll out of here, hit some music, and play some credits.
Yay!
That music sure sounds like it's been hit.
Yeah. Aw, Steve Husband says, huzzah!
Huzzah! And Chibsy, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I want a great deal many
Executive
things that are currently
producers.
coming out, but that's not one of them. No.
Death
The
Notes.
They all eat potato chips, even the chairlings.
Yes.
Beautiful. Party patrons.
Yay! LWW 248. Can you believe it?
I've been here for all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I also don't want the 3090. I mean, I wouldn't throw it away if someone gave me one, but no.
Yeah, the
I want
3070.
that 3070 to be less than $400.
That's going to be called the 3060, Pedro.
Yeah.
It depends on the performance. If it's still a significant bump from the 1080, sure. If
You
not,
know it's going to be faster than your 1080.
yes, it has to be significant.
See.
I was willing to buy the 3070 if it was $400, which it wasn't.
The 3070 haracks your 1080.
Yes. That's the kind of expectation performance-wise that I want to get.
Are you familiar with
'Cause
the
if not,
price,
I'm not going to upgrade.
performance, and availability, pick two?
Once they become available again. Because right now they're not.
Right.
And yeah, no, I did repaste the 1080. Kudos, seriously. Gigabyte GPUs. Taking that cooler apart was 6 screws and 2 connectors, one for the LEDs, one for the fans.
Oh, nice. Gigabyte.
The easiest GPU I've ever taken apart and put back together.
MSI.
Very good.
I had to break out metal cutters. I had to break
Yeah.
out metal shears in order to replace a fan.
Yeah, the EVGA ones, they have gotten better, but they're nasty too.
The EVGA used to glue them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, if I've seen the breakdown with the 20 series, the 2060 in this box, with the heat guns and all. No, I'm just gonna throw it away. Nope.
Yeah, Gamers Nexus took theirs apart. It's like everything is glued.
Yeah,
Literally
exactly.
everything is glued.
This is the extra gluey one. It's the Founders Edition. So yes. Oh man. So we finished. Let's see, how long was that? 44 minutes. All right.
Oh, very good for all those stories.
Yeah, through it.
It wasn't. What was it last week? 58.
Yeah. Or the week before, I think.
Week before was over an hour.
Yeah.
If I could
Then
just,
I think edited
just
it
do
a
this.
little bit.
No, I didn't know.
There we go.
Oh.
58:28. Oh, it wasn't the week before. It was the one after. The one before.
So last
An hour
week
and
was
2 minutes.
53, hour and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glue is cheaper than screws. But see, that's another thing with the 20 series. I'm like, I paid for screws, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if they want to charge effectively what is a 70 series card for their new architecture, but they want to charge $500, yeah, I think they could put screws there. Which, to be fair, they did.
Did you see the latest thing that their board partners are worried that they're not going to be able to hit the MSRP for the 2060 because it's supposed to be priced somewhere in the 250 to 290. Not the 20.
I mean, I don't know
3060,
why
yeah.
they're complaining about that, since they never had any quarrels with overshooting the MSRP for every other card. Oh, wait, that's the market that actually sells GPUs. Right. Yeah, that would have me worried, too.
So what is Sea of Thieves? I saw you critters in Discord like, oh my god, Sea of Thieves, this, that, baseball bat. I don't even know what it is. I assume it involves
Think Guns
water.
of Icarus, but without the flying. It's actual water ships, and you're a pirate. And you have multiple people in a crew. And you have an open world that you get to explore and run into other randos. Being randos on the internet. AKA dicks.
Man, I couldn't get enough of that.
It's a very popular genre.
Okay.
I know
didn't
Pedro enjoys
mind,
it.
Pedro, do you enjoy it?
I've never played Sea of Thieves, but that genre in
that
specific,
style.
I do.
Yeah.
I was a big Daisy player when it was just a mod, and then they went, "Oh, we're going to do our own thing." This runs worse
'cause
than the
it's
Arma 2 mod.
Similar to Onward, that genre.
So, Guns Icarus it's interesting.
Yeah, we haven't played that one in a while.
We had some stability issues last time we played it.
Yeah. You remember that?
Oh. Language. I gotta get something to drink. We'll hang out for about 10 minutes. Sound fair?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Amir, I did teach Steve Husband. I'm sorry, I forgot to refresh my Discord page down. It hasn't done that in a long time. Since I installed the plugin.
7 days. 7 days to die reminds me, Chibs. That person that said, "Oh, I could play 7 days to die with everything on medium on a 2400G at like 60 FPS," and I'm like, "No, you can't." Quite simply, you can't. And then he made a comment to point to a thread that he created on the Level 1 forums. And I went to see I went to have a read of the thread to see. It's like, come on, let's see it. And I read through it. It's like, so I can't even hit 30 at 1920 by 1080 on a 2400G at medium settings. Okay. Thank you for making my point. Yeah, that game is very,
1440.
very very CPU intensive in a single thread.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
Basically, you're going to need a 5600X overclocked to like 5.2 gigahertz for it to actually work properly.
Yeah,
3700X.
Foxy, I do too, with that Risk 5 board. Yeah, Debian. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that game it's besides being a single-threaded wonder, it's also trying to do the Minecraft thing in Unity, which is very inefficient. Yeah, it's the performance has never been great. You can get better performance with the Proton button. That seems to be the case for a lot of the old Linux ports, very much so. But yeah, the Proton button, if you really want to play 7 Days to Die, is the big one. Yeah, I remember the last time I started 7 Days to Die. I had the draw distance about as low as I could. It was like 2 or 3 meters in front of my character that I could see. And I was getting 37 FPS on a 1080.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah, I have the game, but I've never launched it.
What are we talking about?
7 Days to Die.
7 days. Do we have that?
We do. It's that Unity Minecraft survival style game that runs like poo.
That is, yeah, I think that is the
It
current
shouldn't be. It shouldn't run like poo, but it does.
current leader in our perpetual early access chart right now.
I think that one is so far in the lead it will never get released.
If you want to see it run, swimmingly well, just kick it over to Proton, and it starts looking a little bit more like the screenshots, and it runs.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to. I didn't really try to get into it. I tried to understand it. I do that with games, and especially genres that I'm unfamiliar with, because I think it's wholly unfair to just write all of them off just because it's like, I don't like that type of game. Because you never know, you might be missing out. I'm not missing out on that one. I'm good.
No. That one and Rust. Again, I was a big fan of DayZ, so I thought, Rust, maybe that'll be a good thing. 7 Days to Die, that's very much in the same vein, but with more crafting. Okay. No. Just, no. It's like Minecraft multiplayer. I never got into that.
I think for me, anything that hinges or relies or genuinely requires crafting. Assassin's Creed, I've been playing that, man. Egypt version, the Egypt skin pack. It has crafting.
Whatever
in
it was called, I don't remember.
Origins, I think. It's just it's Assassin's Creed and just name what a period or skin pack.
Yes, Assassin's Creed subtitle.
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed Nerd Holla is out right now. That is Assassin's Creed with some Nordic textures thrown on it, and but it has crafting in it, but you're not forced to use it. It's like, if I want to upgrade some things, like secondary things, you can do it. And by crafting, I mean you randomly just collect enough materials and you hold down X and hey, an upgrade. All right, I can live with that. It's like, you need to do this and this and this to progress. Like Skyrim, never crafted anything in Skyrim except those daggers, because that was a hole.
Yeah, you can make the one dagger if you want to learn how to craft, but you don't even need to do that.
No, I was leveling with daggers, man. Crazy leveling, 30 plus levels just doing daggers, because there was some, I forget exactly what the exploit is. I'm sure someone will look it up back in the day. I'm sure it's been patched out long ago, but
nope, still a thing. You can do the gear swap, drink the potion that makes your restoration and stat boosts that much better, and then you unequip your armor, re-equip it, the stat boosts get boosted, and then you craft a dagger that does 10,000 damage.
No, this was just hammering on the anvil and just watching your levels jump up.
Oh yeah, no, that's just progression.
This was involved enough to where I was like, all right, I'll do that.
But Chibsy, no, we hear you. There is a Linux version. It technically starts, yes. You'll get better performance with Proton.
Yeah, it'll run better on Proton, I will tell you, on my 1920X with my 2060. I mean, it's playable at 1080p. I'm high-ish, but yeah. Oh, they can just F off with that.
Yeah, The Walking Dead, Bridge Constructor.
It's Bridge Constructor. They can keep releasing the same game with a different skin.
The Portal one was
still
all right.
done.
I didn't mind it, but unless I can name my bridge Coral.
You probably have to build a bridge to make sure that Carl stays in the house. Stay in the house, Carl.
I think this is the last series of that show, too. But I think there's also 2 spin-offs. Wow. And then they're going to do a spin-off of The Mandalorian. Yeah. I mean, the Baby Yoda show.
Who are they following?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would like it if they would follow the droid, the assassin droid. I'm like, give him his own show. He'll do good. But they couldn't get, what's his name? Watiti? Who voiced him? The director of Thor. He's still directing Thor right now. The New Zealand guy. Who is the Rock voice in Thor? Taika?
Don't know.
Oh, jeez. It's like asking a void of nothing at questions.
I don't know the names of people at the best of times.
See,
Hey,
even
Jordan.
Googs is like, I know what you meant. This guy.
Taika Waititi, okay.
AKA David Cohen. That guy. He did the voice. So, yeah, more Baby Yoda show. Jordan, I'm caught up on it, by the way. We can do an impromptu Mandalorian spoiler cast tomorrow before we go live.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, feel free to spoil. I don't care about spoilers, never did.
People are watching right now, so I don't.
Yeah, I just finally got Disney Plus, so Steve and I are going to start watching it. I've seen the first few episodes, but he hasn't seen anything yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Let's see.
Let's see. Moves over there, and the
I need to check the show notes for Saturday and see what game we're playing.
I added it yesterday.
Tetsudo?
Tsuro.
Kaneda?
It's that
Yeah,
puzzle game
chips.
that we got sent 3 over Curator Connect.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I did, since I hadn't seen all the episodes, I just went on YouTube and watched all the Yoda bits, the child bits on YouTube, because people, compile those all together. So you can just see those.
When there was that episode that Mando met the rebel person, and they were fighting, and then they knocked each other down, and Baby Yoda comes out with a cup of soup, going,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that scene.
Twitter
yeah.
lost its collective shit.
See what the world needs, however.
Oh yeah, there's one of those. I think this is a different one, but there is one on sale at Disneyland, actually in the downtown Disney.
That's a
You can
drink.
get the Yoda.
That's a martini, Jill.
Yeah, no, they have a.
Oh,
Guys,
they make those. Okay.
They make those at Disneyland.
I don't know. I don't associate the alcoholic beverages with Disneyland. It's,
Oh yeah, it's a thing. California Adventure is our adult Disneyland, so that there's alcohol out in that park and in downtown Disney and in the hotels. And the hotels is where that was first introduced. I think it's actually a little different one than that, but very similar.
I don't think there is a DRM free streaming service.
not if you want 1080p 60.
Do.
Or you go to the local video store. Don't forget to use a VPN, kids. And wear a mask. And yeah.
I don't know.
If you're using Firefox, you can pop all of the video streams out, including Crunchyrolls.
How do you disable that, by the way? Do I gotta do about config type stuff?
There's probably a flag in about
That's what I was
about
like,
config.
that should be easily exposed because that's very annoying.
Pop out Firefox.
I thought
button disable.
it isn't about config. Yay! All right. That sounds like a good idea, but it gets old real quick, especially when I have no use for it.
There we go. There is a tick box. You just click the menu button, options. Yep, there it is.
Right. Good. Solving problems. Apparently, if you just right-click on it, all right. I gotta go test that theory real quick.
That is a Strider comment. It deserves testing.
Exactly.
For the sake of the QA laptops.
We need to investigate. Let's see. YouTube.
Yep. There's the hide the toggle button. Yep. There you go.
Do you right-click on the button? Hey,
Button itself, yeah.
Does that do it universally, though?
I mean, yeah, there's actually a lot. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Hardware News recap.
Apparently, shut up, Steve.
Just finished.
Here, I just put the one. This is the one from Disneyland.
Oh, that one looks like it's got something.
Anorexia?
That one looks like it's a disease.
It's got Joker syndrome a little bit. That mouth, it's a little too red.
Want to see where I got that smile? The smile? I was going to say a spoiler, and I had to change my name real quick.
It's in the back of my car.
Man. Just pop out. Yeah, see, I don't need to pop out. I have a several devices laying around to watch video on if I need. Not on my monitor. That's odd. If I'm watching something, I'm going to grab it and take it with me.
I sit in this chair through about most of the day, so yeah. That monitor is divided into quadrants. There's one of the quadrants is usually playing video. Even if I'm not actively looking at it, I'm at least listening.
Man, I gotta buy some, ooh. Gotta buy some disk storage.
Mm.
I have no idea how big my USR folder is.
Check out that root drive, baby.
96% utilization. Okay.
Oh boy.
Which, in all fairness, because it does click in my head. I'm like, I'm down. It's like, I'm down to 18.5 gigs.
Let's see. I just want that little area.
Beautiful
So
thing
that
about
everyone
XFC
can see
screen
it.
grab, you just click on the screen grab thing, like, boop, boom. You can either gimp it, save it. How bad are you? 38% usage. All right. I used to live that life.
It's a 250 gig NVMe SSD, and it's just root.
This one's 500, but it's got a lot of system stuff on it for the OBS, and it's got a bunch of source trees on it as well. That's Debian.
Yeah, and I also cleared out my my game drive. It's only at 78% utilization now. It was at 98% not too long ago.
My game drive is steamy, and it's only at 88%. And that's only because I reinstalled Assassin's Creed Desert Edition.
No.
It's because of that, and because I still have Wolfenstein installed, because we can't beat that last boss. Tune in tomorrow night as we, for the third attempt. Jordan, I think I got a new strat for it, though. I think I just wrecks us. 200 storage is cheap these days, though, man. So
So
You
is
know what?
RAM.
you know what? I break that. That's the gnome. What's it called?
Baobab.
That thing. Stupid name.
Aw.
Big tree.
Yeah, I know. I know.
pretty.
Every time I go to install that, I'm like, what is it? Oh, all right. Stupid name. Got it. Because sometimes it's handy to like drill down. Like, what is taking up all this? But oh, right. That's a lot of Linux kernel modules that are left over there, like 40 gigs worth. Got it. So, oh man, what's for dinner, Pedro?
No idea. It'll
None.
be something. But I have no idea what yet.
I don't know.
I have trying to go through what I have in the fridge in my head. I do have a bunch of minced meat that will go bad fairly soon, so I might make some burgers tonight.
Mincemeat burgers. You should get into like making
It's-
pies. Like shepherd's pie. Just call it shepherd's pie.
I made a quiche the other day.
No, baby, shepherd's pie is a loophole. You just put whatever you got left in the fridge on it, put a crust on top, bake it.
Yeah.
I made a quiche out of leftovers, basically, yeah.
Why are there popsicle? Did you put pops?
Yeah, I'm going to warm up a really good tamale. Good for a
Tamales!
Not the
For
bad
lunch.
tamale, just the good one.
Yeah.
What's the deciding factor in tamale greatness?
How long they've been cooked?
That's the sauce for the little French girls. Because the longer you leave it on, the better it gets.
Yeah.
No, I said mincemeat specifically. It's actually mixed mincemeat. It's beef, pork, and lamb.
That'll
And
be yummy.
what I usually do, I chop up onions into very, very small bits.
Basically, mincemeat sounds a lot nicer than hot dog without the wrapper.
Yes. Although hot dogs have a bit more
Chicken and
cartilage
pork.
and chicken, yeah, for the protein.
Oh, by the way, here's another plug for my Twitter. I'm reading my own Twitter, man. Sling boxes going dead.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
They're shutting down the servers. Yeah.
Yeah, I quit using mine when they required a cloud connection. Because you had to, it used to be when I bought my Sling, set it up, you just plugged it in, go. Then Dish bought them. They're like, no, you need to sign up for our service. And I was like, well,
Oh,
RIP.
boy. That's not good. Yeah.
So I found other ways to watch the Beebs.
Yeah. So mincemeat is, they actually call it the fruit mince. Okay. I didn't invent the language. I barely speak it as is.
I mean, he's not very hot in Portuguese either, let's be honest.
Not anymore, no. I used to be very, very proud of how much better I was at Portuguese than 99% of the internet.
You were very much good.
Yes. To the point where I had several reviews and critiques published in a video game magazine, actual print magazine. Yeah.
All of them went out of business, by the way.
It went out of business.
My English holds up very well until I start thinking too much. Then it can get stuttery, but it's usually, I still English very well. I just don't get the words in the right order sometimes. There's like substitutes. Throw them in there.
No, my English has gotten at least more fluent. I don't spend as much time thinking about how to just say a basic sentence, although certain specific terms or the occasional word that my brain just goes, you're not going to remember that now. It happens. That still happens.
Go watch Pedro's interview in Portuguese. You can just straight up say, now, at least you have a fully formed like Portuguese vocabulary to work with. I do not. I think very much along the lines of a 9-year-old child.
Yeah, no, I was 30 when I left Portugal, so yeah. No, I wasn't 30. I was 29, but close enough.
We're all old now. Get off our lawns.
Yeah, no, it wasn't so much, the words, it was how do I say this thing that I've been talking about for the past however many years in English. How do I translate that to Portuguese? Because I never had to do that before.
Oh, that's another thing. This access point will tell me if I have any bad sectors.
On the access point itself, or...
I think jokes. I'm joking.
I suppose it does have flash, and the cells can go bad. Yes.
Let me show you a snapshot of It caught me off guard. That just doesn't seem like something. Again, access point people. This is why this is. It's more amusing than confusing to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, it is 100%. I was talking to Pedro and Jordan on Saturday. I had to get it out of wireless ISP mode. And Pedro's like, oh, yeah, to connect to a Wisp? I'm like, no, Pedro, to run a Wisp.
No actual ISP mode, as in the ISP is deploying that to you. Oh.
Man, that thing looks like it could tear a hole in some D-cell batteries.
Yeah, Arthur, and I remember that that exact model. In fact, they also made that same one in with a smaller screen. And the smaller screen one was actually more expensive than the bigger one because it took more work to make a smaller CRT. But yeah.
My NAS doesn't have that much room to spare chips. It's got two terabyte hard drives. Right. One is for backups and the other one is exposed on the network for just Samba share, so that Nori can use it in Windows, we can use it with Android, and I can use it on this box for moving stuff around to the laptops and backups.
Nah, this box or syncs. That's it. That's my backup. That's the
I have rsync set up on a specific folder, but everything else I just do manually.
Yeah, all the networking in this house that's used is right here. I've shut everything down in the basement. I just don't really use my NAS or anything and keep it powered on all the time. I have a lot of it networking, but it's just for the shows, for the audio and the video.
I actually do use the NAS a lot more now because I set up Pi-hole and just changed the DNS server to the Pi-hole, and away we go.
Yeah, my router runs Linux, so I just added a blacklist.
Oh, thank you.
And Kyle likes Linux.
What happened?
Thank you very much for the follow.
How dare you? You monster.
And Secret Chief 7.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool name.
Pedro cannot withstand any more potassium. All right, we gotta get out of here. I gotta go make a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in time, right?
Yeah. It's like, hi, bye.
Don't worry. We come back every Wednesday.
And Tuesday, and Thursday,
Wednesday,
and Friday,
Saturday.
and Saturday. Yep.
Monday is the day of rest. It's either the day of rest or attempt to install a microchip product. I can have one or the other. Oh man, I do have a new interface that might be showing up tomorrow. And it's new in box, but it's old. Joe would call it vintage.
Aw, what is it then? What?
It's a 2006 FCA 202.
FCA.
I think it's just FC 202. They didn't have the FCA moniker back then. So, I've never played my friend Pedro. Watch Pedro play.
After a while, the missions start to get. You want to get a good score. You're going to have to obsess over that mission for a good few minutes. There, no.
It struck me as something that would be delightful to play for about 10 minutes, and like, it's getting repetitive.
It's if you don't obsess over the missions and you're just trying to get through them, like try them once, you got through it, awesome. No, try again, got it through that, great. But if you're going to do the score thing, it gets real repetitive real quickly.
And where's I really need to script.
Heavy Bridge. Before Skylake, that was like the biggest IPC jump that Intel had.
Yeah.
Are you going to get one of the... I'm not going to lie, man. If they weren't locked down to the teeth, I'd buy a new MacBook, one of those, just to play with it.
An Air or Pro?
Probably an Air.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what the M1 chip can do.
Like the iPad. Yeah, let's be honest, they're iPad chips.
Yeah.
The new iPad, not iPad, in a box is like, what, $600? Like, But like 6 months from now, once it's been thoroughly exploited, maybe.
Jailbroken, other more reasonable operating systems installed on it. Yes.
Yes, exactly. I'm looking forward to that too.
In interesting times, again, Apple never invents anything, but for good or for ill, people, the market doesn't shift until Apple does something.
Yeah, so they make the ecosystem.
So this time next year, for Festivus next year, there will be a wide assortment of ARM-powered laptops running Windows. Cheap. They'll probably have more than
Microsoft is keeping Windows ARM up and running. Right now it's for the Raspberry Pi, but that's going to be an easy migration to other hardware.
It's a pretty nice podcast. Thanks.
Aw.
Petra's going to tell Nori that.
I'd say we try, but I don't. I guess Ben does.
Aw,
And Jill.
thank you, Kai likes Linux. That was sweet. One of us. Yes, one of us.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I want, ARM isn't going to convince me to buy a laptop, but it might, but not to carry around, just to play with. Because it would be like a Pinebook Pro that's usable.
Pinebook Pro is getting surprisingly useful.
Well, when I say usable, I can do video editing on it.
Editing, yeah.
No, it still uses the same
Content
rock
creation.
chip as it uses the same rock chip as the Pine 64 board. That's basically a Raspberry Pi.
This is the
different.
claims. Apple's making bold claims because 10 minutes from now, I'm going to be taking a Threadripper to its knees. It's going to be pegged, but yeah. Chromebook alternative. I want a Chrome.
Yeah,
I want a
bold
Chrome
claim.
tablet. I want a good Chrome tablet that doesn't cost more than an iPad Pro. Chrome OS tablet. Give me a 13-inch, 12.5, 13-inch. That I don't want Intel. I don't need an x86 Chrome tablet. I don't need a heater, and I need something that will stay charged more than a few minutes. This device doesn't exist.
Not right now, no.
Nay.
There's a couple of x86 tablets that come with Chrome OS. Acer makes some really nice
Acer
ones.
makes the one they did for school, but that thing is woeful. And the reason it's woefully underpowered is because it's pushing a 2K screen.
Yeah. 1080p. It's enough. We're talking 13 inches. It's enough. Or 10 inches in most of them.
I still think to this day, my Google, what was it called? My Google tablet, the Nexus 10. It would be more usable. It's been reduced to controlling lighting in the studio. It would still be kind of usable if it didn't have a 2K screen on it. Nice screen, though. All right. Speaking of crushing threads and ripping knees, gonna bounce out of here. I think everybody was showing up.
Yeah, had a great group.
Fair warning: if you tune in tomorrow night when you get that live notification, it's just going to be a conga line of profanity because we're.
You got to finish it.
This is a matter of principle, killing that last boss for us. So. Yeah. Until then, everyone, have fun.
Okay, everyone, love you.